Widening the Educational Base for Students project presents a video montage designed to help support adult education student persistence in New Mexico. What did the 2009 through 2010 New Mexico adult education performance data tell us? 23,248 students enrolled in ABE classes last academic year. 23,248 students took a pretest. 23,248 students acquired 12 hours. The percentage of students that made level gains was 25.56%. 44%, or 10,301 students, took a post-test. What this means is that we didn't post-test 12,947 students. When we do post-test students, we can show level gain rates of 57.64%. The goal of this Persistence Promising Practices video is to do two primary things: produce a student persistence professional development video and provide ABE programs with ideas for enhancing their program's student persistence. The Persistence Promising Practices video will provide programs with insight, ideas, and examples from the Literacy Center at UNM Taos, ABQ-GED, and UNM Valencia ABE programs. The video is broken up into segments so you can pause and discuss the different concepts and questions. We encourage you to share this video in your ABE, ESL, and literacy meetings. Use this video as a way to introduce persistence with your ABE, ESL, or literacy teachers. Share this video with students in your orientation. This video would be great for in-service professional development discussions with your team.
Well, we operate out of 3 different sites, which is part of our success. We are very close to where they live. We operate out of community centers as opposed to just one central area. A lot of these sites have daycare centers on site, and so the child care concerns are taken care of. And we have morning, afternoon, and evening classes. So depending on work schedules, we usually have something that can accommodate them. We also have a distance education option in case their only option is learning from home online. We do have that. So we have a lot of different options for them that can pretty much suit almost everybody.
The ability for us to get together and talk about students and their issues and their strengths and sometimes their weaknesses, and how we as teachers can overcome those weaknesses, because sometimes it does take an outside perspective.
What sets this program apart is the community involvement of the students. We really encourage students to share their stories and to support each other. In the class, we tell stories and we try to keep that sense of community involvement, because we find that that's what keeps students coming back.
That they do show that they do care, and they do ask for participation in anything that goes on here. Like will encourage us to pursue our GED, so that way if we ever want to be an advocate for people like ourselves, we know where to go.
I tried many schools in my days in the past and they just didn't work out. This just fits my my busy schedule, my criteria and everything,
The flexibility
They work around what your life schedule is. There's times where I have to be absent. They understand. They're willing to, you know, set a schedule around what you have to do.
I really like how open it is with you can communicate with everyone, tell them what you need to, or like anything, basically what's going on in your life, and everyone's open about it.
And it's providing individualized attention, something very, very different than a traditional school. When they come into this program, immediately they know what their role is that day. I don't sit in front of the class and try and preach to them about this and about that. I try and show them by action. It's a very student-centered program, you know, from an individualized curriculum to the use of assessments to the use of proper classroom management.
We do a lot of things for the student. It's not just that it's an individualized program where we work very hard to get the student where they need to be. We give them this love of learning that shows them that learning goes beyond the classroom. We give them a want to go to college. We make learning fun. We give them this sense of community where they feel at home and safe in a city where they may not be safe anywhere else. And we teach them that even though their prior school experiences didn't work for them, that does not make them a failure. And we give them that sense that they can succeed.
Some of the main things we do to keep students are the sharing of the stories and supporting them even through their life issues, but also we know what each student needs, okay? We keep track of that. We know this one needs more language arts, this one needs more math, and we try to individualize the instruction. Actually, we have some parts of the class are community-oriented to where we activities that the whole class joins in, and other times everybody gets to work on what they need. So we split up those efforts.
I like the teacher. You know, he's real cool. The way he teaches me, he explains everything the way I can understand it.
The tutoring's awesome. They have patience for one, and then for two, they tutor very well, and then for three, you know, they pay for the GED for me.
Got some good teachers here. They really help and tutor you.
My scores were so low, and Danny knew that I need help. He didn't let me go. He let me be part of the program, which I appreciate a lot, because now I improved so much. I thank Danny for that.
They're encouraging, you know, they help me out. Well, for me personally, I would be scared to ask for help, but you know, they're right there. You know, they're there next to you, telling you, hey, well, don't be scared to ask. Don't ever feel like, you know, you can't ask us, and no matter how many times it takes for you to get something, they're there to show you. They actually help you, you know, and I'm speaking from experience because I have had hard times with math, and I would feel embarrassed to raise my hand, and they're like, no, you know, they've sat there with me until I got it to make sure I got it.
And another thing that is good is these regular staff meetings that are brought on by our director, Gloria, and you know, that's very important too, because we're able to go over the things that are working and also the things that aren't working, and by having regular staff meetings, it really helps pave the road for the whole program.
We make lesson planning creative. We don't just sit there, give them a book and tell them, here, learn this. We work with them either one-on-one or in a classroom setting that's smaller, as opposed to a really large classroom where we can't give them a lot of attention.
You know, setting aside from any other program, I can't state from that because I don't know what the other programs do, but I know what we do. And what we do is we tell our students that they do a good job. We support our students. We individualize our students. We treat our students like family. We listen to our students. We give that support to them.
So the persistence practice that I really wanted to highlight was about orientation. And I think that orientation is one of the most critical elements in the program and to student success. And I'm the one that designed the orientation, but teachers have been involved and they do pieces of that.
It's interesting because in my case for the Spanish GED, I do the orientation. So while it's great when the director does the GED because the kids get to meet the director of the program, which is great. Not all the time the director is available for the students. But in my case, I'm the one who conducts the orientation. So that first day, my students meet me. We talk about the program, and boom, the next day or the next week, they know who they are going to meet. You know, it's me again, and that definitely helps. You know, with the unknown.
I've had the good fortune of having 3 different roles throughout my 3 years of being here, and one was I took part in orientation with Judy, so I got to see that firsthand, and then I took that into doing work as an advisor. So I worked one-on-one and advised individual students after their orientation, and then I take that further into the classroom and I teach them. So I've gotten to see the thread of how it all plays together as a program. One of the main things that I've noticed is she does an activity in orientation that's supports and barriers, and by doing that it makes the students very aware of what they have in their favor that's going to help them succeed in their goals and what they might be struggling with.
The orientation told us about the program and what it deals with and how long you have to be here and the hours and what level you are on to determine how long you have to be in the program before you take the test?
The orientation, it was like they're showing you what to expect in the class and how it's going to be done, and the teachers will be there one-on-one with you, helping you through levels of the subject.
The orientation pretty much presents everything that you're going to need to know throughout the course of the program, and it's very friendly, very opening for the most part. You discuss things with our students, just let you know what's going on, and yeah, it's just a basic explanation, but I felt they did a good job.
Orientation is they just say how the program work, how you find your strength, and where you go after where you get GED, where you have to go to what goal you want to go, or what school you like, what kind of school you like. That's part of my understanding.
The orientation was great. I felt that it was high school, but it wasn't like high school, because we got to know everybody's name. know a little bit about themselves, like their strengths, their weaknesses, their goals, just basically why they were here as well. And basically everybody's here for the same reasons, because they want to be here, because they want to get their GED and further their education as well. There's really nobody here to put them down about how long they've been here, or if they have to come back. Everybody's just here just to work at their own pace. If they need extra attention, nobody's against that. Everybody's just here to support everybody else.
It is very important, of course, because especially with my group, they're older people, so they're all working. So the time that they have in the class, it's very, very important. I do give homework, but it's very important that they're here. And I tell them, even if you're tired and you feel like you can't do anything, just come and don't miss, when I explain this. If someone is absent, I will definitely call or have other students calling. Sometimes they make more pressure that I can, make. Come on, come back, yeah, you've been sick, it doesn't matter, you'll catch up. But we definitely do a follow-up, to see why that person is not coming, what's going on. If they had a problem but they're ready to come back, we will accommodate. At least, I will do that in my class. If I see that there's a real strong desire to be back in the program, I will make an exception and then work one-on-one until they catch up.
Getting my GED is important to me because it makes me feel like an accomplished person. Once I get my GED, then I'll go to college and study law. Yeah.
It's important to me because I want to succeed in life, and it would be better for me to do that.
More the fact that I felt guilty about dropping out of high school. It's not that I couldn't do it, but it's just frustrated, leaving a lot, so on. So I felt this was a better solution, and I know how to do it. I know the coursework. Other than that, it's just working at it to get it.
Yeah, it is important for me because, as I said to you, English is my second language. I feel like I improve my English and my speaking. Because I had family here, I have 2 kids, so I can taught my kid how to use math, how to talk to them correctly and perfectly. Not perfect, but at least close. That's why I've been to GED class.
So I decided to enroll in the GED program here for my kids and myself as well, to just get a sense of accomplishment and just to be that positive role model for my boys. Let them know that even though you do give up sometimes, it's never too late to start again. You can always, follow your dreams, whatever they may be. And I just want to be that positive role model for my kids.
I'm more serious about my education now. I have a different respect and outlook about what it is to be educated and to move on and pursue further interests, whether it be high school or not high school, but college or vocational school.
I think the students keep coming back because overall in the program they feel respected. I always tell them, you don't come here for what you know, but for what you need to learn. So don't be scared, don't be ashamed of asking questions. I'm here to teach you, you are the boss, I'm here to work with you and you can ask me 1,000 times. So when you build an environment where people feel respected and they feel that they can make a mistake, that they can ask a question and it's safe, that is that's a little foreign to them, so that they really appreciate that. And when you have that going on in the classroom, it's great.
It was the program in general because they showed you how to do the work, and I learned off by just following instructions. And
Just more of this program, it's more interactive than any other program around here, and you can learn more from these teachers if you take advantage of schooling, basically.
The best thing I would like this school, they teach me everything, not just like science and history, or kind of like that. That's the thing I need to. And I live here too. I have family.
I want to be here because the teachers are really supportive and informative. The program is very flexible and it works to my schedule, and yeah, it's very convenient for me.
With the Adult Education Center at UNM Valencia campus. We're making this video to describe how we focused on student needs to create a full menu of services designed to help students transition into post-secondary education or employment.
This flowchart shows the pathways our students take as they travel through our program. We will be taking you on a step-by-step tour of our process in order to explain how we have increased student persistence.
For a student's first visit, they'll come into the Learning Center and talk to the receptionist, and then they'll meet with a tutor or another staff member to fill out an application, find out more about the program and the processes that they'll be going through, to determine what assessment level they'll need, and to be scheduled for orientation. At this point, the data operator will only enter them into the database as a prospective student. Until a student finishes with their assessments, they are not considered enrolled in our program.
When a new student first comes into our program, ready to start on the path towards earning their GED, often they're confused, anxious, and nervous. I believe that a big part of our job is to make our students feel comfortable with the process of getting their GED, and this is particularly true with new students. I try and alleviate their concerns by being friendly, sharing how I went through the same thing they are, and by explaining how our program works before they ever touch the application. I think that by making the student comfortable with myself and with the others in the program, we can make them much more comfortable with the program as a whole and make their transition into our program much easier.
Okay, when the students come back and attend the Intro to the GED workshop, it serves two purposes. One, it's basically a new student orientation, so we introduce them to our program and sort of lead them on a guided tour, show them what the steps are going to be, what's next, what's down the road, as well as showing them what's on the GED tests themselves. And along the way, we also talk about important things to being a successful student, like overcoming obstacles and setting goals and having good time management. But it's also sort of a recruiting tool to get the students to stick around. So I try to make it fun and entertaining. We start with an icebreaker and make everybody laugh. So there are jokes all along the way. And at the end of a 4-hour session, we then offer them the opportunity to sign up, come back, take their assessment tests, and be given a schedule and continue in the program.
The student's third visit is here in the testing center, where they'll assess for their entry-level skills, as well as register for their mandatory power-up workshops and computer-based instruction. At this point, the data operator will change their status from prospective student to enrolled student.
CBI, or computer-based instruction, is an open enrollment class which allows students to begin study immediately. It is computer-based, which allows students to familiarize themselves with computers, since computer skills are so necessary in our society, especially in school, in our program as well as college. It offers flexible scheduling, so that students that can't make it into the classroom, traditional classroom environment, can study from home, can study in the computer labs on their own time, and they can also use it as their primary instruction if the intensive instructor-led classes don't work. The second component of our open entry courses are our Power Up workshop series. And this is a series of workshops with specific topics designed to address specific needs that our students tend to have, including computer skills, stress management and math anxiety, testing anxiety, as well as the Power Path series, which addresses learning difficulties.
After students have completed their required number of hours in computer-based instruction and 3 power-up workshops, they may be enrolled in intensive classes. The idea for intensive classes started several years ago when we looked at our data and saw that the average length of stay for a student in our program was somewhere around 4 weeks. So we created sessions that were 4 weeks of instruction with a 5th week of assessment and evaluation and an interview with each instructor to evaluate the student's progress and determine next steps. Since we've implemented this, our average length of stay for a student has gone from about 4 weeks to closer to 11 weeks.
So we offer intensive classes, and they are intensive because we've got students for about 4 weeks and we have months of information to try to get to them in that short amount of time. We do this as best we can. We have a lot of interactive and dynamic lessons to keep interest going. We use water balloons for graphing. I hand them water balloons and say, here's your ordered pairs. Sidewalk chalk, M&Ms for statistics and fraction work. We try to keep it, answer as many or address as many learning styles as possible in that short amount of time, and just keep it moving in and out. Sometimes I have to drop information to get what I need in class, and then the next session I'll switch it up and bring in that other information for people who do need to stick around for a little bit longer.
In addition to intensive classes, we offer individual and group tutoring as well as a distance learning program. Once the student has brought their assessment scores to an acceptable level, we administer the practice test and move them on to the official GED exam. By shortening the session lengths, paying close attention to the students' needs, and using fun, innovative techniques in our classrooms, we have been able to increase the persistence of our students and have helped them to reach their goals of moving on to post-secondary education or employment.
Luis Gonzalez, Marty Gourlay, Josh Gutierrez.